Hello and welcome. This is Christy Haig with a tutorial for you from digitalscrapbookingclasses.com. In this video we're going to be talking about the lasso tool. This is the second of the selection tools. You can go back and watch the rectangle and elliptical marquee tool, but this is the lasso tool, which is also a selection tool. If I right click on the lasso tool, you'll see that there are three different lasso options. The regular lasso tool is on top, followed by the magnetic lasso and the polygonal lasso. In this video we're going to talk about the regular and the polygonal. The magnetic lasso tool is going to be covered in the class subscribers section. But the lasso tool and the polygonal tool work very similarly. So first we're just going to click on the lasso tool and take a look at the options that are up on the top of Photoshop Elements. The first are these buttons here, which is the new selection, the add to selection, the subtract from selection, and the intersect with selection. And you'll notice that those are the same as they were with the marquee tool. So if you don't know how to use those, go ahead and watch the video on the marquee tool, and that will explain what those buttons are for. The lasso tool, unlike the marquee tool, is just going to let you freehand draw your selection. So here's a paper that I have from Kristen Cronin-Barrow, and let's say I want to cut out a selection of this paper. I want to select a section of it so that I can cut and paste it onto my layout. Maybe I want to have it be sort of a freehand looking circle. So I draw that. As soon as I get back to the beginning of the selection, I let go with my mouse. So let me do that again. I just click and hold my mouse down, move it around. When I get back to the beginning, I let go and it completes the selection. You'll notice that we have the anti-alias, which is a good thing to be kept, especially if you're doing freehand drawing, because it keeps the edges just a little smoother, so they're not pixelated right at the edge. And there's also a feathering option. If I go and say I'm going to create a scrapbooking page, and I want to, from here, copy. I'm going to hold the Control key down and hit C, Control C for copy, go over to my layout and paste. You'll see that it looks like I just cut the paper right there. If I wanted to go back and add a feathering, I would say add 50. I would draw my selection and copy and go over here and paste, and you'll notice that the new one I have has that feathered edge. So you can do that, although you have to enter the feathering before you draw your selection. So let's go back here to 0 and let's draw this circle again. Now I have some kind of jagged edges on this circle, so we're going to click here on the refine edge. And you will notice that there are three sliders. The first is how smooth you want the selection to be. If I do this, it takes out some of the big jagged edges that I had. I can feather my selection if I want to. If you are extracting a picture or something like that, it is usually a good idea to have a very small feather set. You don't want it set at 0, but you don't want it set enough that it really blurs the edge. And now I can also expand and contract, and you'll notice as I get to the plus side here, my selection area is just getting a little bigger, and as I go down to the bottom it's getting a little smaller. If you want help seeing the edge that you're subtracting, you can click on these different ones and it will color the edges for you so that you can see right where the selection is. And it's good to have a variety of colors to choose from so that you can find out which one works best. The black one really contrasts with this and lets me see the exact selection as I move these through. I can zoom in right from here, which is kind of nice, and I can also use the hand tool here to click and drag around on the layout so that I can see different edges. So I'm just going to cancel out of that. I'm going to go back to the size that I had here, and deselect that, and let me just show you that the same thing works for the Polygonal Lasso tool. The only difference is the Polygon is not going to let you freehand draw it, but you're going to click with your mouse, and then you're going to move this, and you're going to click with your mouse at each corner. Click, just single click, and I'm letting go. Click here, let go, click here, click here, click, 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 click. And then to finish it off, I just need to click right back at the beginning there. The exact same things, I can set a feather before I go and do it. I'll want to keep this box checked, and I can also use the same refine edge tools as I did with the other one. So if I wanted to do that, I could copy, I could go back over to my layout here, hide those and paste it, and you'll see that I sort of have a freehand cut piece of paper. For more tutorials and classes in digital scrapbooking, head over to digitalscrapbookingclasses.com. Have fun and keep scrapping memories.